Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Steven Hour with another Batman 66 movie review. Today we'll be reviewing the Purr-fect Crime, which is the debut episode of one of the most beloved villains in not just Batman, but of the 60s TV show in general, the Catwoman. So, let's quickly get into the plot, or the whole episode synopsis really. Our story begins with it's one night at a Gotham City museum when a security guard is attacked by a cat. Then a mysterious figure breaks into the glass case and steals a golden cat. We then cut to police HQ where the police are stumped as to who has committed the crime. Their clue is the fact that even though the museum houses millions of art treasures, only this statue of a golden cat was taken. Bonnie, Gordon's secretary, comes in saying that a person's delivered this box and saying that the guy who delivered it was as jumpy as a cat. The commissioner then opens the box and finds a kitten, and attached to the kitten is a piece of paper, revealing a guy named Mark, millionaire, Mark Andrews, a wealthy millionaire and the owner of the two golden cats, but one has been crossed out. Gordon, coming to the conclusion that everything is cat-related, he then deduces that Catwoman is behind this. We then get the usual call. Commissioner Gordon calls Bruce Wayne at, Batman. When we get cut to Stately Wayne Manor, they reveal everything and they quickly slide down the bat poles. Opening credits roll and they drive off. Now, I want to point out something, that this is not the first time Catwoman has been mentioned, or this ain't her technically first appearance, as she was actually mentioned in a previous episode in Cell with the Great, two-parter. But here, this is where we get to actually finally get her appearance. Gordon, Batman, and Robin quickly get to police HQ. They quickly do the whole usual dialogue scene, and then realizing that, they quickly rush to the museum to lay a trap for Catwoman. Realizing how she's stolen one golden cat, she's naturally going to be after the second one. Here we then cut to a scene where we are Catwoman's hideout. And here Catwoman explains to his henchmen, Leo and Felix, clearly a reference to Leo the lion and Felix the cat. And here Catwoman makes her first introduction. And I can definitely agree that, and I can definitely see men back in '66 would have been drooling at Julie Newmar in the role. And basically Catwoman plans to steal the golden cats and basically pull off. We don't really know the full crime yet, but we do find out that she has called one of her henchmen, Leo, to get all of Gotham City's history books. And basically, she says she's going to kill Batman and Robin. But as usual, just like we heard with the Mad Hatter, the henchman usually says many of others have tried, and she says she'll succeed where they fail. So basically, she's after revenge for being put away. But we don't know what her full caper is. As that goes on, Batman have made this chemical to spray on the golden cat that leaves a radioactive substance in order to use to track it. They then go to the museum that night and wait for the trap. Robin is then knocked out by a cat, which is then revealed that the cat actually has some kind of venom in its claws, so when it jumps on someone, it will immediately paralyze them temporarily. Just as Batman runs in and Catwoman takes the golden cat, the goons then fight Batman. The fight quickly ends, and essentially the Catwoman and the henchmen quickly make a getaway. But Batman quickly goes to check on Robin. But despite the fact Catwoman getting her prize, Batman still believes they have a chance to really get her because of the fact that the statue that she's taken has a tracking, that spray that they'll be able to track. But Catwoman knows this and has prepared a trap for them. As Batman and Robin track them, they then go to the hideout, which is basically a fur company with two words meaning cat in with 2 words meaning cat in both in different language. They then used the bat bean to open up the door in case it was, rigged to, a trap. Like they would open the door, it would, kill them, like something like that, but they use the bat bean to play it safe. They then enter, where they are then trapped themselves in, and they're led into this, basically this death room. And Catwoman basically plays some tricks on them, such as a fake bomb, spikes on the wall that are going to crush them, only turn out to be rubber. And then Robin is taken away, when this thing falls on top of Robin and sucks him away. Just as this is happening, Catwoman then removes the spikes and reveals Batman 2 doors. One where, it says, I'm in one room, and in the other one, and behind the other door is a tiger. Which one is it going to be, the lady or the tiger? Of course, Catwoman had to say that line. And does Batman choose the right door? Well, no, he does not. The door opens, revealing a tiger. And that's where we end our cliffhanger, with Batman having to fight off a tiger. As usual, the cast really doesn't really change here. Change here. Batman, basically, Commissioner Gordon, Chief O'Hara are, I think we can see they are maybe the dumbest policemen ever. They clearly, if they were smart policemen, they could have easily deduced with a stolen cat, it would have, and how a person delivers a box, and the secretary says that she is jumpy as a cat, he is jumpy as a cat. They clearly could have deduced that, it is definitely Catwoman. Robin is heavily naive, a little bit, not, with the scene of in the Batmobile and him not buckling up his seatbelt, and Batman being a sort of person with morals and all that. But Burt Ward and Adam West just pull not Batman and Robin and Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson off so well, and it's just really fun to see. But of course, the real standout in this episode is the introduction to one of the most famous villains in the show, Catwoman, portrayed by Broadway actress Julie Newmar. She owns this role, and I think this is really the first time ever Catwoman had a full black costume, because it was not in the comics at the time. She wore this sort of purple attire, and she had never actually worn a proper cat suit that more modern audiences are known for. The one thing I always liked about Catwoman in the TV show, she's portrayed as a straight, confident, villainous, villain, instead of the anti-hero that we are given these days, which is nothing wrong, but for me, it just seems so fresh to have a villainous Catwoman and actually have, be a leader of a gang. And Julie Newmar for me, looks the role. Interesting fact, I also love the bit how she is, she plays like this cat and mouse game with Batman before ultimately having a, trying to kill him, which essentially cats would do. They would play with their prey before going in for the kill, which I really liked. Also, I like how she just wants pure revenge. What we would normally expect from Julie Newmar's performance as Catwoman is not yet revealed, and overall, it's just really interesting for me that they will go in that go with that. Her first episode. For me, that type of thing will not come till season 2, but we'll get to those types of episodes when we do. Well, what about this episode? How does it hold? Well, The Perfect Crime, of course they had to call the episode that when introducing Catwoman, for me is just a really good episode. There are a bit of innuendos that you can pick up in this episode, and I also like the dark atmosphere they introduced here. For me, this episode was a really good, strong debut for Catwoman, and Julie Newmar just breathed sex appeal for this show. And unlike the villains in the show, who are most predominantly male and had a sort of female accomplice, this is the first time we actually get to see an actual competent female main villain, and not playing second fiddle to a man one. Even Zelda the Great, who was introduced in her episode, she was clearly a more tragic figure and was meant to be a one-shot. Here we definitely have something very fresh. So the question is, how would the next episode be? Well, we'll get to that in the next review. But for now, this has been The Perfect Crime. And that's it. That's the review. A really good, strong debut for one of the series' most greatest villains. And for me, it is just a really great episode in general. And Julie Newmar owns the role. And for me, out of all the actresses to play Catwoman, she is definitely my favorite. And to many people's is their favorite. So join us next time as we review the next episode. Better luck next time. So until then, tune in for the next episode. Same Steven time, same Steven channel. And so long for now.